I lived with a murderer and didn't even know it. In 2020, I was 15, living with my brother in this shitty rundown apartment. My mom had kicked me out the year before, and since my charter school didn't do online options, I wasn't in school. On top of that, I just lost my job because of the pandemic. It was just me and my brother scraping by on his income, barely paying rent, barely eating. Then one night at a bonfire party, my brother met this guy named Aaron. Aaron said he needed a place to stay and promised he'd pay in cash every month. We were desperate, so 2 days later, he moved in. Aaron was off. He barely showered, was crazy possessive about his stuff, and went on rants about how much he hated cops and wanted to kill them. On top of that, he ordered Pizza Hut every single day, twice a day sometimes, but he always had the rent money, and honestly, that's what mattered at the time. One morning, I was in the kitchen about to make toast. I grabbed the butter from the fridge, and before I could even turn around, something slammed into the back of my head. I spun around, and Aaron was standing there, screaming, "That's my fucking butter!" I dropped it on the table and told him I was sorry, but he backhanded me across the face so hard I saw stars. Then he ranted for 20 minutes straight about how I never paid bills and was always eating his food. Finally, he calmed down, handed me the butter like nothing happened, and actually apologized. I went straight to my brother and told him what happened. He said he'd handle it the next week. The three of us were sitting in the living room when Aaron just blurted out, "You know, brother's name, I thought about shooting you the other day when you told me to be nicer to my name. But then you left, and I had time to think. I'm so proud of myself." My brother asked if he even had a gun. Aaron just smirked and said, "I might. It's none of your business." 2 months later, Aaron went on a meth binge and jumped out of our second-story window. He begged us not to call 911 and refused to go to the hospital. After that, he turned into a ghost in the house. We barely spoke. The last day I ever saw him, he asked me if he could borrow my car for $15. It was a $700 beater I'd bought in my brother's name, but money was tight, so I agreed. Big mistake. 10 hours went by. No car. No Aaron. I started to panic because my learner's permit was in the glove box. My brother told me not to worry, that he'd show up eventually. But a week passed. Nothing. I gave up hope. Then the call came. South Carolina State Police. My car had been impounded 9 hours away. Aaron had been pulled over for a busted taillight, but when the cops tried to stop him, he ran. Blew out all four of my